Hi, everyone, or whoever's on so far. Leave a comment. Let me know if you're here. I'm going to fix my mat really quick. Before I do that, welcome. I'm Maria, and you need blocks and a strap or a strap-like prop. So you could get a belt. I recommend like a softer material. You could get a strap from, or like the sash from a bathrobe. You could use just a towel from the bathroom or the kitchen. So if you need to grab those things, go ahead and do that. I'm coming to you from Park City, as you can see. I'm going to set up my mat and then we'll get started. Let's see. Oh, jeez. Looks pretty good, actually. Okay. 2 blocks and a strap or a strap-like object. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. So come to your mat and set up a block underneath the seat and just find a comfortable seat and just go ahead and find, choose your own seat. You know, sometimes it's nice just to start in a seat that feels grounding and comfortable to you. So you can take a virasana where you're kind of sitting on the shins with the block underneath the seat with the heels pressing against the block, or you can cross one shin or ankle in front of the other. Let the hands, let's just take them to the tops of the thighs. Let the eyes close or let the eyelids get heavy and just wiggle the sides of the waist long here. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And just notice that first breath in as you arrive onto your mat, as you settle in. Just recognizing your choice and your commitment to come to your mat. Being open to the possibility of transformation, of change, of growth that could happen in the next 60 minutes on your mat. And really, that's an opportunity in every moment of our lives. Everything is constantly changing. Maybe that's the only constant, is that things change. And we're going to work with this idea a little bit today. Knowing, accepting the idea that the world is asking for change, is calling for growth. But inevitably, there's a little bit of fear surrounding that, a fear of the unknown. And so whether it feels fearful or not, things continue to change. And so with these things outside of us that we can't always control, it comes like our perspective will be what makes the difference, or is what holds our hand and navigates us through change and through growth. I love this quote. It goes, growth is painful, change is painful. I think these are truths. But nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. It's from Mandy Hill. With the eyes open. And come up off your block. Place both blocks at the front of your mat. If you're just joining, have 2 blocks and a strap. And then take the feet or the legs to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet press, hands come behind you. And then extend the legs to Dandasana, so the legs come long, feet flex. And then go back and forth a few times. So come to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet press, and Dandasana. Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet press, hands come behind, lift up the hips this time, and then move the hips closer to the heels. And then extend the legs for Dandasana. Plant the hands down next to the hips and just sit tall here. Feel the legs activate. And then interlace the hands behind the head and reach your forearms up towards the ceiling. So the crown of the head and the forearms reach up. Good, and then release this. Scoot yourself a little bit forward, catch behind the knees and roll down onto your back. Soles of the feet come to the mat. And then reach your right leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the thigh bone where the hamstring is. And then just bend the knee and flex the foot. Straighten the leg and point the toe. Do that a few more times. Remembering to breathe. Yeah, and then if the hands don't reach here, this is where you'll take your strap or your towel. From here, use the belly to lift the head and the shoulders and walk the hands up the leg a little bit here. Yeah, so the foot's active. You find a flex or like a point and a flex, a floint or whatever that's called, and just focus on lifting the head and the shoulders up. Belly is engaged here. And then walk yourself back down and take the leg into half happy baby. Hand reaches to the outer edge of your right foot. Left hand can just press against the right thigh. So almost like the thigh bone sits or sinks deeper into the hip as this the left side, and then the right leg and hip are in half happy baby. Good, and then release this. Hug the right knee into the chest and extend the left leg long. Carry the right knee across the body. Take the twist here. So the left hand can stay on the right knee. Right arm reaches long or wide. Gaze can go to the right. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then release. Come back onto your back. Give the knee a hug into the chest. Step the right foot down. Step the left foot down. And then left heel reaches up towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers behind the hamstring. Take the opposite interlacing that you did before. And then just bend the knee and flex the foot and point the toe while you straighten. Do that a few times. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let yourself just do whatever makes sense in the leg. Yeah. And then straighten out the leg. Find and activate a light activation in the foot. So you can flex it or find somewhere in between. Lift the head and the shoulders and walk the hands up the leg. So we're not really going for like a big hamstring stretch here. So if you're pulling in the hamstring, change something, take the hands lower or use your strap. And then walk the hands back down the leg, lay the head back down onto the mat. Take the left leg into half happy baby. Yeah, and then right hand presses against the right thigh. Just press the thigh bone away from you, just gently, nothing crazy. Good, and then release the left leg, hug the knee into the chest, extend your right leg long, and take the knee across the body. Left arm goes long, look to your left. Just a little simple twist here. Good, and then come back to your back, hug the left knee into the chest. Step the foot down, step the right foot down next to the left, and then hug both knees into the chest. Lift the head and the shoulders up again. Flex the feet here, find that half point, half flex. Release the hand, reach the hands towards the outer edges of the feet, and then fingertips reach towards the toes. Keep lifting the shoulders higher up off the mat. Nose comes closer to the knees. Good, and then release the head and the shoulders down. Extend both legs up. Take the hands behind the head. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift the head and the chest. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift head and chest. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift head and chest. Take the head back to the mat, bend the knees. Good, and then roll to your left side. Lift yourself up to sit. Find Baddha Konasana again. Good, hands come behind you. Press into the outer edges of the feet and then press the soles of the feet down. Walk your left hand forward, then your right. Inner edges of the feet touch. Heels sink heavy, hips sink heavy. Reach the hands forward for Malasana. Let the head fall between the arms. And then walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Lift the hips and step back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal up the feet a few times here. Shake the head no. Nice. Find some stillness and bring your right knee to the mat underneath the right hip. Spin to the inner edge of the left foot. Left arm reaches up. Exhale, reach the left hand up and over the ear. From here, bend the elbow, take the hand to the back of the head, and then reach the forearm towards the front of the space where, like, the same direction as the crown of the head. Yeah. And then release the arm, so straighten out the left arm. Left hand comes to the mat, tuck the left toes, breathe in. Breathe out, right knee comes to nose, lift, use the belly. Inhale, down dog split, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands. If the hands don't reach the floor, take blocks underneath the hands here. Breathe in, straighten right leg any amount. Breathe out, bend the knee, look forward. Inhale, straighten, or towards straight. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten the right leg this time. This time, right toes turn to the right. Walk the hands through center. Exhale, bend the left knee any amount. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, low lunge twist. Left hand presses down, right arm reaches up. Breathe in. Breathe out, hand comes to the mat. Inhale for a plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat, interlace the fingers, forearms come to the mat, and then tuck the toes behind you. Come to forearm plank with fingers interlaced. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower the belly to the mat. Untuck the toes, release the fingers, palms press down, Sphinx pose, chest lifts. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat, slide the hands underneath the armpits. Breathe in, lift the head and the chest, baby cobra. Breathe out, press through the hands, come through hands and knees and find downward facing dog. Good. Bring your left knee to the mat underneath the left hip. Spin to the inner edge of the right foot. Right arm reaches up. Breathe out, reach the right arm over the ear. And then bend the elbow, take the hand behind the head. Elbow comes in towards the face. And then reach the forearm and the head towards the front of your mat. Good. And then release, straighten out your right arm. Take the right hand to the mat. Right toes tuck. Breathe in. Breathe out, left knee comes to the nose. Pull the knee up and in towards the chest. Inhale, down dog split, left leg lifts. Exhale, take the foot forward and step the foot between the hands, low lunge. Again, hands to blocks if they don't reach. Breathe in, straighten left leg any amount. Breathe out, bend the knee, look forward. Twice more. Inhale, straighten left leg. Exhale, bend the knee, look forward. Inhale, straighten the left leg, left toes turn to the right, come through center. Exhale, bend the right knee any amount. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, low lunge twist, right hand down, left arm reaches up. Breathe in. Breathe out, hand comes to the mat. Step to plank pose, breathe in. Look forward, breathe out, hips lift, downward facing dog. Bring the knees to the mat, interlace the fingertips or fingers, forearms come to the mat. Try to take the opposite or non-habitual interlacing. Good, and then tuck your left toe, tuck your right toe, plank or forearm plank with the fingers interlaced. Breathe in. Breathe out, hips come to the mat, untuck the toes. Release the hands, press down. Inhale, Sphinx pose. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat, slide the hands back. Breathe in, lift the head and the chest, baby cobra. Breathe out, downward facing dog. From here, walk the hands towards the back of the mat. Take your time, one handprint at a time here. When you get to the back, take the hands to the shins, take a half lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Heavy the tailbone and stand up. Breathe in. Breathe out, Tadasana, mountain pose. Hands come by the sides. Feel the feet pressing down into the mat. And then gather the hands in front of your heart center. Let the eyes close. And for dedication for class today, ask yourself where in your life you're being asked to change. Where are you being asked to expand and grow your perspective, to see a broader perspective? It doesn't matter what like our personal opinions about how the world is responding, what's true or not true. We're all being asked to expand our perspective, our view. So tune into what that is for you and make a note about how it feels. Is there a little bit of fear associated with with being asked to change, being asked to see things differently, knowing that the reality is that the world will change. It's always changing. Right now it might feel a little bit more drastic, more intense, or in our faces. But just notice your feelings associated with it. And keeping the eyes closed or the eyelids heavy, I prefer the eyes closed if you can. Slowly begin to walk towards the front of the mat with the eyes closed. Take your time, go really slow. Your balance is thrown off probably a bit here. Keep the knees soft and supple. When you think you've made it to the front, let the eyes open. Readjust if you need to and take the arms by the sides. Breathe in, reach the arms up and overhead, look up and see the hands touch. Exhale, bend the knees and fold forward over the leg. Let the head go all the way heavy. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank pose and look forward. Breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes, press the shins, slide forward, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let the head fall heavy. 5 breaths here. Find your shape and then tune into the breath. That's 2. 3. 4. On your 5th exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, and look forward between the hands. On empty, step or jump to the front of the mat. When you breathe in again, half lift, look forward. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, soften the knees, arms reach to the sides and up. Look up and see the hands touch. Exhale, pull the hands through center and find Tadasana once again. Again, breathe in, arms reach up, look up. Exhale, soften the knees as you fold over the legs. Let the head fall heavy. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Breathe in, look forward. Breathe out, lower halfway for Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 more breaths here. Settle in and come back to your breath. 2, you don't have to match my pace of breath. Just keep breathing. Count your own breath. 3, 4. On your 5th exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward between the hands, step or jump to the front of the mat. When you arrive, half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold over the legs. Breathe in, bend the knees and reach the arms to the side and up. Look up and see the hands touch. Exhale, pull the hands through center and stand. Find Tadasana. Bring the inner edges of the feet to touch and then breathe in, bend the knees, reach the arms up and overhead for chair pose. Exhale, stay here. Sit the hips lower. It's okay for the butt to stick back a little bit. So try not to completely tuck the tail here, but let the tail be heavy. You can bounce a little here. Pull the inner knees towards one another. Stay with the breath. Don't hold your breath. On your next exhale, hands come to the mat, fold over the legs. Heel toe the feet apart and measure 2 fists with distance between the big toes. Grab the big toes with the first 3 fingers. Bend the knees, look forward, find length on the sides of the waist. Exhale, fold over the legs. Elbows bend in opposite directions. Pull the toes forward. Let the head fall all the way heavy. Shake the head no. Tadasana. Breathe. Legs are active. Kneecaps pull up a little bit here. Try to relax the upper body though. So relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Open and close the mouth. Unclench the jaw. Soften the eyes. Soften the belly. And release, look forward, breathe in and half lift. Exhale, heel toe the feet together. Sit the hips low, reach the hands forward. Fingertips reach like almost out of the crown of the head. And then set the hips even lower, hips come to the mat, feet lift, Navasana, boat pose. Pull the inner legs together, arms stay lifted. You can have a little curve in the back so that you're activating the core. Stay with it, breathe, don't forget to breathe. I like to flex my feet as well. That helps keep the whole leg active here. One more cycle of breath in and out. Ardha Navasana, everything extends, everything hovers. Stay here, the belly's gonna shake. Stay with it. Keep reaching the toes away from you. Activate through the legs. And then relax everything to the mat, let it go. Shake the limbs if you need to. And then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Plant the elbows down, fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Press down through the feet, just lift the hips for a moment here and just shake the hips side to side. So we're not doing like a full bridge pose, not a back bend here, just opening up the fronts of the legs a little bit and shaking out the hips. And then lower the seat back down to the mat. Take your strap. And let's see here. Put one end on either side of your body. And then make like a nice little opening. Bend the knees into the chest and put both feet up into the strap here. Yeah. And then bring the right foot to the middle and extend the left leg long onto the mat here. We're going to walk the hands up the strap a little bit more. And then lift the head and the shoulders up. Keep the flex through the right foot here and through the left foot. And then be really easy on the legs here, but pull the toes towards the face a little bit more. You want to do this in a way that's not straining the hamstring. So at any point that you feel strained, back off. And then try to keep the foot where it is and just lower the head and the shoulders back down to the mat. Take both ends of the strap into your right hand. Left hand comes down to the top of the left thigh. Just press straight down on the thigh and carry the right leg over to the right. Let the leg open to the side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Carry the leg back to center. Separate the strap one edge in either hand and then lift the left leg up and place it in the strap as well. Good, and then from here, lower the right leg down. Keep both feet flexed. And then once again, walk the hands up the strap a little bit more. Lift the head and the shoulders up off the mat. Both feet are super flexed here. So you're bringing the core online again. And bring the toes a little bit closer to the face if you can. Again, no strain in the hamstring. This isn't about finding the stretch. And then slowly lower the head and the shoulders back down. See if you can keep the leg where it is. And then take both edges of the strap into your left hand. Right hand presses straight down on the top of the right thigh. Carry the left leg over to the left. Yeah, just opening it to the side. And carry the leg back to center. Separate the two edges of the strap again and pull your right leg up into the strap as well. Bend the knees and take the strap to the side. Hug both knees into the chest. And then reach the hands in between the knees. Catch the big toes with the first three fingers. And extend the legs up towards the ceiling. From here, reach the toes up and over the head. The hips and the low back are going to lift up off the mat. You might reach the toes all the way to the floor above you, but try not to crunch the front of the neck too much. So find somewhere in between. You'll be balancing on the thoracic spine, a little bit on the shoulder blades. Keep flexing the feet. And let the seat roll back to the mat. When it arrives, bend the knees and just find a happy baby pose. Rock side to side. Breathing in. Breathing out. From here, we're going to do something a little funky. Lift the head and the shoulders. And you're going to roll forward and back a few times and get a little momentum. Roll all the way up. Come through Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet touch. And then same thing. Pull the knees towards one another and lift the feet up towards the ceiling. Use the belly. Once the legs are straight, let that chin tip back. Press through the balls of the feet. And bend the knees, come back to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet. You can release the toes now. Good. And then extend the legs long for Upavista Konasana. Keep the feet flexed, toes point straight up towards the ceiling, so do the knees. Yeah, hands come behind you to adjust the seat. And the legs do not have to go as wide as mine are here. They just need to go anywhere wider than the hips, like anywhere slightly wider than the hips. There's a million variations. You might be way more open than me, or they might be more closed than mine. And then walk the hands forward any amount. Maybe starting on the forearms, maybe a block under the forearms would be nice. And then walk the hands forward any amount, still here. Make sure the toes are still pointing up towards the ceiling. Knees are straight up as well. Shake the head no, open and close the mouth. No tension in the face or the shoulders or the neck. And then walk the hands back up to center. Take the hands to the outside edges of the knees. Lean back, soles of the feet come to touch. And then hands come behind you. Press the outer edges of the feet into the mat and walk the hands forward. Find this Malasana Yogi squat one more time. From here, slide the hands back underneath the shoulders, lift the hips, take the knees to the backs of the arms, look forward and take crow practice if it's in your practice. Otherwise, practice putting weight into the hands. Heels come in towards the seat. Stay with your breath. If you have it in your practice, you can shoot the legs back and land with bent arms in Chaturanga, or step back. We're all meeting in downward facing dog. So nice. Breathe in, lift your right leg up. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands, back heel spins down. Reach the arms to the sides and up, warrior one. Hands press. Look up at the thumbs, and then interlace the fingers, bend the elbows, take the hands to the back of the head. Reach the forearms up, lengthen the neck, head reaches up towards the ceiling too. As you bend into your front knee, press the outer edge of the back foot down. And arms reach up, release the fingers. Take the hands to the sides and down, low lunge, back heel lifts up. Breathe in, straighten right leg, turn right toes to the left, come through center. Exhale, left toes turn out, bend into the left knee, any amount. Some of us will come all the way to Skandasana. Yeah, right leg gets super long. Come back through center and find a low lunge. Take your blocks on the highest setting. You're gonna reach forward a little bit. And then weight comes onto the right foot, left leg reaches back behind you, warrior three. Come to the pads of the fingers. And then release the hands, bring the hands to touch in front of heart center. From here, press down through the right foot. Keep reaching back through the left heel. As you tilt forward to stand, left foot comes next to right. Hug the right knee into the chest. Press down through the left foot. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose. Right foot presses to left leg. Hands come back to heart center. Find a non-moving spot for your gaze. And once you're stable and you find your center line, reach the arms up. Allow that to lengthen out the sides of your waist. At the same time, pull everything back towards this midline. Breathe. Take the hands to the waist. Carry your right knee forward. Extend the leg long in front of you and then step the foot down. Weight comes into your right foot again. Carry the hands to heart center. Tilt the torso forward. As you reach your left heel back, come back through warrior three. Soften your front knee. Hands come to the mat. Low lunge, tap your left foot down, or your left toes down. And then straighten your right leg, hop in your back foot enough to spin the back heel down. If you need blocks under the hands, if the fingers don't touch the ground, take blocks here and then lengthen out the sides of the waist. On your exhale, fold over your right leg, let the head fall heavy. If this is too much, just soften the front knee a little bit. Again, no strain in the hamstring. Shake the head no. Unclench the jaw. Inhale, look forward, soften your front knee. Exhale, left knee comes down to the mat outside your right foot. So you're in a seated spinal shape here. Both hip points are pressing down into the floor. Reach your left arm up. On your exhale, give your right knee a hug. This is not your deepest twist. Elbows go wide. Gentle twist to the right. Gaze comes back behind you. Breathe in. Try to stay soft and supple throughout this practice, especially here. Come back through center and take a little counter twist to the left. Come back to center and then lean onto your left side. Swing the right leg behind you and find pigeon pose. So left knee has to come more to the left. Sink the hips down. Right leg's in a straight line behind you. Make sure the center of the knee lands right on the mat. And then come to the forearms. Walk the hands forward any amount. Forehead comes to the mat. And then walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Step to plank pose, left foot steps back. And then turn to the outer edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up, side plank. Exhale, reach the arm up and over the ear. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, left leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands, back heel spins down. Reach the arms to the sides and up, warrior one. Interlace the fingers, non-habitual grip. Bend the elbows, take the hands to the back of the head. And then as you bend into your left knee, reach the forearms and the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Straighten out the arms, unwind the fingers, hands press, and then circle the hands to the mat. Frame the front foot, back heel flips up. Inhale, straighten left leg, left toes turn to the right. Come through center. On the exhale, turn your right toes out. Bend the knee any amount. Some of us will sit all the way into Skandasana. Left leg goes all the way long. Reach the ball of the foot away from you. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, low lunge. Hands come to the blocks on the highest setting. Launch forward into warrior three. A supported warrior three. Right leg lifts up. Keep reaching that heel back behind you. Come to your finger pads. Bring the belly and the sides of the waist online and take the hands to touch in front of your heart. From here, torso lifts as the right foot comes to meet the left, stand tall. Hug the left knee into the chest. Right foot presses down. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose. Gather hands in front of your heart center. Everything press. Take a moment, just have everything pressed towards the midline. The feet, the legs, the hands. Focus the gaze. And then take the arms up. Same thing. Wiggle the sides of the waist long while you pull everything towards the midline. Hands come to the waist. Carry left knee forward. Extend the leg long and step the foot down. Press your left foot down. Hands touch in front of the heart. As you press your left heel down, reach your right heel behind you, back through warrior three here. Soften left knee, hands come to the mat, and then tap your right toes down behind you, and then straighten the left leg. Hop in the back foot just enough to pin that back heel to the mat. Breathe in and lengthen the sides of the waist. Crown of the head reaches towards the front of the mat, and fold forward in pyramid pose, Parsvottanasana. Let the head go. No strain in the hamstring. Soften the knee. Make this easy. Inhale, look forward, soften left knee, and then right knee comes forward outside the left foot. Sit down into seated spinal twist. Right arm reaches up and give the left knee a hug. Let the elbows go wide here. Easy twist, not your deepest twist. Really encouraging you not to hook the elbow and crank this around. Just a simple twist. And then come through center and counter twist to the right. Come through center, swing the left leg behind you and come to pigeon pose. Right knee comes more to the right. Sink the hips down and find the long line with the left leg. Come to the forearms. Walk the hands forward. Let the forehead come to the mat. Any amount you're walking your hands forward. I'm really asking you to have a non-aggressive practice. And honestly, it took me quite a long time and studying with really experienced teachers to even surrender to the idea of not making each pose the biggest expression of the pose that I've ever done. So keep coming back to this idea. How can I make this posture a little bit less of a strain? How can I pull less on the muscles? And I found over time that I'm closer to my full range of motion in the hips and the legs and my other joints because I've chosen patience. So consider it. I know it's hard. Bring the hands back in underneath the shoulders. Tuck your left toes. Come to plank pose. Bring the big toes to touch and turn to the outer edge of your left foot. Right arm reaches up. Make sure you soften the left elbow a little bit, especially if you hyperextend. Use the muscles, not the joints, to hold yourself up. Right arm reaches up and over. Come to plank pose. Breathe in. Breathe out, downward facing dog. From here, bring the knees to the mat. Forearms come to the mat. Interlace the fingers. From here, tuck the toes. Lift the hips up. So you're in a forearm down dog with the hands interlaced. Let the head fall heavy for now. And then press through the forearms so you're not sinking into the shoulders. The crown of the head should not be touching the floor. From here, take your thumbs up and just point them up almost like you're doing like a thumbs up. On your breath in, look forward. Take your chin to your thumbs. Exhale, press back. Let the head fall. 4 more times. Forward. Exhale back. 3 more. Forward. Exhale back. 2 more. Chin to thumbs. 1 more now. Chin to thumbs. Look forward and press back. Take the knees to the mat. Sit the hips onto the heels. Arms come back behind you. Child's pose. So now the crown of the head can come to the mat. Catch your heels with your hands and then roll onto the top of the head for rabbit pose. Breathing in. Breathing out. Bring the seat back to the heels. Hands come forward. Downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands. Left knee comes to the mat. Inhale, lift up, arms reach up. Exhale, left elbow comes outside the right leg. Make a fist with your left hand and then right hand wraps around the fist. Press the right hand into the left and turn. Allow the neck to turn as long as there's no strain. Unwind, come back to center. Frame the foot with the hands. Tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Straighten your right leg and turn the toes to the right. Inhale, take a little half lift, wiggle the sides of the waist long. And then walk the hands back towards the heels. Crown of the head comes towards the mat. Shake the head no. And then engage the legs a lot here. Feel the inner arches pulling up and notice how that streams all the way up the inner legs. Interlace the hands behind the head. Reach the crown of the head and the forearms down towards the mat. Legs are super active here. Release the hands, fingertips to the mat, half lift. Exhale, low lunge to the front of the mat. Take the hands to the blocks on the highest setting. The arms are going to be extended long. Warrior 3, lift your left leg up. This time, come to the pads of the fingers and reach the arms forward. Keep reaching the fingertips in the opposite direction as that left heel, and then come to stand up. Left foot steps down next to the right. Hands come to the waist, and then hug the right knee into the chest. Right arm comes inside the right knee. Catch the big toe with the first 3 fingers. Left hand comes to the left waist. Pull this right shoulder back into the socket and extend the right leg any amount. And then lift your left arm up. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Release the toe. Right arm reaches up. Watch a breath in and out. Hands come to the waist. Bend the knee. Step the foot down. Press through the right foot. Hands come to the heart, center. And then come back through warrior 3. Flex this left foot and reach the foot back to warrior 3 here, tipping the torso forward. And then soften your right knee, hands come to the mat, find a standing split from here. So fold the torso into the right leg. Left leg reaches up. From here, bend both knees, left knee comes down outside the right foot. Sit the hips low, you're back in the seated spinal shape. Stay here if it's possible. Let the right knee fall on top of the left for Gomukhasana or cow face pose in the leg. So this right foot's gonna come over to the left and back towards the left hip. You can also take a block underneath the seat for this posture if you wanna lay the right knee down. Eagle wrap the arms, left goes underneath right. Back of the hands press or palms press. Breathe in, lift the elbows just slightly here. And then reach the elbows forward. Either set the elbows right on top of the knees or hook the elbows in front of the knees. Forearms can come back in towards the face and let the forehead rest on the thumbs. Stay with the breath. And come up, unwind the arms, lean back, fingertips face forward, unwind the legs, soles of the feet press, knees reach towards the toes, lift the hips up, let the head fall back, just look straight up to the ceiling. And lower the hips down, cross the right ankle over the left, roll forward, plant the hands, lift the hips, pull the pinky edges of the feet together. Knees come to the backs of the forearm or the triceps, look forward and find cross-legged crow pose. If it's in your practice, shoot the legs back. Uncross the feet on the way, up dog on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Breathe out, step the foot forward and drop your right knee to the mat. Arms reach to the sides and up. Hook the left or the right elbow outside the left knee, make a fist. Left hand press or wraps around the fist and then turn the torso to the left. The gaze can follow. Keep your back knee down for now. No need to overdo this. And release, come back to center, frame the front foot, tuck your back toes, lift the back knee. Straighten left leg, turn left toes to the right. Parallel the feet and look forward. Lengthen the sides of the waist. Walk the hands back towards the heels and bring the crown of the head towards the mat. You might take the feet a little bit wider and bring the head all the way down. Put a little weight into the head if you can. If you're comfortable in the middle of the room taking tripod headstand, you can take that here. Legs come up, inner legs pull towards one another. Yeah, press through the hands and the top of the head. Reach the toes up towards the ceiling. If you're up, begin to come back down, feet to the mat, half lift. Woo. Everybody takes a half lift. And then we all find a low lunge to the front of the mat. Hands come to blocks on the highest setting. Lunge forward, supported warrior three. Move to the fingertips. This time, reach the hands forward if it's possible. Otherwise, press hands at heart center. Reach that right heel back. And then, like a pendulum, come up to stand. Right foot steps down next to the left. Hands come to the waist. Watch a cycle of breath in and out. Hug the left knee into the chest. Take the left hand inside the left knee. Grab the big toe with the first three fingers. Right hand to right waist. Pull the left shoulder back into the shoulder socket and then extend the left leg any amount. Reach your left arm up. And reach the left arm up. Right arm, both arms are lifted. Left leg is extended. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands to the waist. Bend the knee. Flex the foot. And step the foot down. Hands come back to heart center. Reach your right heel back behind you. Come back through warrior three. Soften left knee, hands to the mat, and fold the torso into the leg, standing split. Let the head fall all the way. Right leg reaches up and back behind you. And then the right knee comes outside the left foot. Sit down into seated spinal twist. Stay here or find Gomukhasana. In the legs, that left knee will just fall on top of the right. Staying in seated spinal is fantastic too, and you can always put a block under the seat. Right arm underneath left, eagle wrap the arms back so the hands press or hands press. Lift the elbows just slightly and then take a little fold forward. Let that head fall. Heavy here. Breathe, stay with the breath. And lift up, unwind the arms, lean back, hands come back behind you, fingertips face forward, unwind the legs, soles of the feet press, lift the hips up, knees towards toes, head falls back. Just look straight up at the ceiling. You don't have to let the head fall completely back. And seat comes to the mat, left heel or left ankle crosses over the right. Pull the knees into the belly, roll forward, hands press in front, lift the hips, knees come to the backs of the arms, look forward. And find crow pose with crossed ankles. Shoot the feet back for Chaturanga. Find up dog on the inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out, shake the head no. Bring the knees to the mat. And come to sit on the heels. We're going to practice headstand. So we've been leading up to this. We're opening up the hamstrings. We're practicing this, pressing through the forearms with the interlaced fingers, some shoulder strengthening with plank pose, using the sides of the waist and the belly to pull everything towards the midline. The warrior three of pushing the heel back as the arms reach forward, or moving in opposite directions to really turn the legs on, that feeling of reaching through the heel to find stability in the whole body. So a lot of elements to help find all these pieces that will come together for headstand. And turning upside down is disorienting. If you've never done it before, there's probably like a fear of the unknown. I mean, I still come into inversions and wonder if I'm just gonna, fall over and maybe injure myself, or like there's the fear of falling. So that's all what we're practicing and experimenting with. So you're sitting on your heels, come forward and bring the forearms to the mat, interlace the fingers. You can take your more comfortable way and just take a look at the elbows and see that they're right underneath the shoulders. From here, you might stay here and just practice pressing down through the forearms. You can try that here. And actually, as you're here, see if you can press this right below the hand, this wrist. See if you can press the wrist even further down. And it almost like the hands will come up a little bit. But that pressing down of the wrist activates almost the whole arm into the shoulder. From here, tuck the chin and take the crown of the head and place it. You're not going to place it between the heels of the hands. You're going to place it right at the base, almost right where that wrist is that's pressing down. So if you've not done headstand before, you might stay here and just practice pressing down through the forearms with a little bit of weight into the head. If this feels okay, go ahead and tuck the toes behind you and lift this seat up. So you're kind of in a variation of this, forearm down dog. Yeah, and there's a little bit more weight into the head. You might stay here and work on this. If this feels okay, walk the toes closer towards the elbows. Now keep pressing down through the forearms. Don't let the shoulders sink in towards the ears. Press shoulders away from the ears. And then lift one heel up. And then bring it down and lift the other heel up. And then maybe both heels lift up. Make this little egg shape. Keep pressing down through the forearms. Reach the knees up towards the ceiling. And then extend the legs all the way up. At a certain point, you'll feel a lot lighter on your head because all the bones are lined up here. Keep reaching the toes up towards the ceiling. If you're still practicing with weight in the head, stay with it a little longer. We're all going to meet up in child's pose. So when you've had enough, go ahead and come there. If you're up, go ahead and pike the legs. Let the butt stick back a little bit. Legs come forward. And see if you can lower them straight all the way to the mat. Knees come down. Child pose. Arms come back behind you. More like the top of the forehead rests on the mat. Just let the shoulders hang outside the knees here. There's a little bit of muscular activation that happens in the thoracic spine. So this should feel really good. Very good. And then take the hands outside the knees and just roll yourself up to sit. Sink the hips to one side and extend the legs long. Come to Tadasana, hands press outside the hips, flex the feet, hug the right knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side, almost like tree pose, pressing the sole of the foot into the inner left leg. Frame the leg with both hands, anywhere along the leg. Lengthen out the sides of the waist and then walk the hands forward any amount. Janu Shirshasana. Again, we've opened up the backs of the legs a bunch here, like in this class. You might still feel tight in the hamstring. Or it might feel like, wow, something just feels a little bit stuck in my hamstring, which I've had before. Back off if that's you. There's nothing to prove. Slowly come back up, hug the right knee into the chest and extend the leg long. Hug the left knee into the chest. Open the knee to the side. Turn the sternum towards this right leg. Frame the leg with the hands and then walk the hands forward any amount. Take it slow and listen to what the body needs. I always have one leg that feels a lot different than the other, that there's something like bound up. Again, if that's you, pay attention to it. Don't just try to like stretch your way out of it or through it. Most likely that's a sign that your muscles and your body are asking you to back off. And I get it. It takes a long time to learn that. A lot of trial and error to realize that like overstretching doesn't really help anything. Slowly come back up. Hug the left knee into the chest and extend the legs, both legs long this time. Hands press by the hips for a moment in Tadasana. Flex the feet and then walk the hands forward for Paschimottanasana. Catch the outer edges of the feet, ankles, shins, meet, like not really the knees, above the knees. And fold forward any amount. Shake the head no. Open and close the mouth, unclench the jaw. Slowly come up, take the hands back behind you, fingertips face forward. This time point the toes, lift the hips up. Let the head fall back, just look up at the ceiling. Incline plank. And slowly lower the seat to the mat. Roll across the ankles, roll over the feet. Grab a block or two, place it between the ankles and come to sit down. Hands rest on the lap, close the eyes right away. And allow the stillness of the body to begin to still the mind. Don't try to force the mind to be still. Tune into the breath. Notice, see if you can catch the breath changing. See if your attention can become that specific, that focused, that toned, to notice how the breath changes just in a couple moments of us sitting here. If you're outgrowing who you've been, you're on the right schedule. Keep evolving. That's from Layla Delia. And so we're just going to count the breath. Each inhale and exhale together will be 1, and you'll make your way all the way to 10. If anywhere along the journey you get distracted, you'll just come back to 1 and start over. If you make it to 10 without any distraction, you'll also just come back to 1 and start again. We'll be here for another 30 seconds or so. Just watch the breath. Count the breath. See if you can notice when the changes. Feel the hands resting on the legs. Release any focus or concentration in the mind. Let the eyes flutter open. Lift up off of this block. Place it at the front of the mat. Cross the ankles again. Roll over the feet and extend, or just bring the feet in front of you. Catch behind the knees and roll all the way onto your back. Hug the knees into the chest. And let both knees fall over to the left. Tee the arms and take the gaze over to the right. Simple supine twist here. Continue to watch the breath. Take that moment of meditation, of breath awareness into these final postures. Bring the knees back to center and let the knees fall over to the right. Take the gaze to the left. Come back to center and bring the feet to the mat. Take the elbows back to the mat. Lift the hips up just really gently here. Sway the hips side to side. A very baby bridge. Again, opening the fronts of the legs. Take the seat back down to the mat. Heel to the feet slightly wider than hip width distance. Let the knees knock in. And cross the right arm in front of the left. Let the hands hang down by the shoulder blades. Constructive rest. It might be nice to close the eyes here. And take the opposite arm on top. Left arm comes closer to the face. See if you could just let the arms flop. Heel toe the feet to hip width distance and extend the left leg and then the right leg. Let the feet splay open. Unwind the arms and let the arms come by the sides, palms face up. Make the Shavasana a little bit more, maybe if you tend to go really wide and just do like a full starfish, contain yourself a little bit more. So by containment, I don't mean muscle activation. I just mean bringing the limbs closer to this center line. Much of yoga is this practice of prana or life force management. And when we completely spread, we dissipate all of the some of the prana that we've like cultivated and moved through the body, or the channels that we've cleared. And so by keeping the body just a little bit more contained, a little bit the limbs closer to this midline, it keeps the pathways open. Like the difference between a really long straight highway compared to one with a lot of turns. Let the eyes close. Let the bottom half of your jaw go completely slack. Let the tongue hang heavy in the mouth. Soften the eyes. Unclench anywhere else in the body you might be holding or gripping, and completely relax here for this Shavasana. Try to bring your attention back to your breath without changing the breath at all. Just a gentle pulling back. Bring a little movement to the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees fall to the right side. Roll yourself all the way to the right. Use the right arm as a pillow. Keep the eyes closed or the eyelids heavy. And then press into your left hand. Keep the eyes lazy and come to a comfortable seat. See if you can find it with the eyes closed. Maintaining a little bit more confidence in your ability to navigate this space of the unknown Can you find a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes heavy, keeping the eyes closed, trusting that where you land will be the right place? Using your other senses to rest the hands on the lap, to know which way is up and reaching the crown of the head towards that, knowing which way is down and letting the hips sink towards that direction. The powerful potential behind change lies in the possibility that each new beginning will bring us greater joy and freedom than we have ever known. Whether or not that actually happens, whether or not we continue to grow through the cycles of our lives, is largely up to us. We play a part in what happens by choosing how we see our changes, our beginnings, our endings. We can see each ending as a tragedy and lament and resist it, or we can see each ending as a new beginning and a new birth into greater opportunities. What the caterpillar sees as a tragedy of death, the butterfly sees as the miracle of birth. Gather the hands in front of your heart center. Let the chin tuck towards the chest, a bowing of the head towards the heart. And then as the heart lifts into the thumbs, let that lift the thumbs to the space between the eyebrows or the third eye. Let this movement be a way to seal your own practice. Namaste. Thanks, yogis, for joining me today. So hopefully you have a great evening. Thanks for coming. The next class is on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Hey, Alyssa, thanks for coming. And this class will happen next week as well. Next week, I'm going to be adding some classes, probably a basics/alignment class on Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm also going to add a weekend class. I'm calling it Sunday Soul Day or Sunday Soul Service, I think. What did I call it? Sunday Soul Service on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So, and that'll be like vinyasa, kind of like this, but more chill towards the end and doing maybe a restorative posture or two at the end. So thank you for being here. And donations, a suggested minimum donation of $10, and that can go to Venmo or PayPal. All that information is in the comments section. So much info. Enjoy your evening. Have a glass of wine. Cheers, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.